Honestly, guys, I don't know how many more of these 4K reviews I got left in me because I'm really starting to get too damn old for this shit. Let's talk about Lethal Weapon on 4K. All right, guys. Oh man, we are here. We're here again to talk about another 4K. And like I said in the opening, I'm getting too old for this, guys. We got a lot of 4Ks to get to review. My desk is full. It's crazy around here, and I just don't know how much longer I can do it. I'm getting too old for this. I am older, guys, than Danny Glover was when he shot Lethal Weapon. He was 38 when he made this movie, and he was two. Now he's playing a 50-year-old. But he was 38. So I am now older than Danny Glover was in Lethal Weapon when he was getting too old for this crap. So now I'm getting too old for this crap, okay? Just kidding. I love what I do. I love talking about these releases, guys. But we're talking about Lethal Weapon on 4K today from Warner Brothers. I'm very excited to do so because it had been a few years since I've seen Lethal Weapon. I've actually got a review of all four of the films in one video on the channel. I did that back in 2022, so you can go check that out if you want. Seek it out, search it, whatever. It's probably in one of my review playlists. But we're only talking about the first film today, unfortunately, because Warner Brothers only did the first film. Do I think they'll do the sequels? I kind of do. I kind of do, and that could be a talking point in this video today, because I'm going to be honest, guys. There's things with this release that you're going to love, and there's things with this release that I'm not so sure, what you're going to think about. You may be a little down on some aspects of this release, but I want to try to cover everything and let you guys know if this 4K is worth a purchase or not. So I've just got the boring old slipcover version, even though I kind of like this artwork better than the steelbook, but there is a steelbook available as well. At least I think it's still available. It might have sold out by now, but it's on Groove. It's on Amazon. If it's available, I'll link it down below in the description. There is also a Warner Brothers UK big box set steelbook set, big steelbook box set. It's really nice. It's like the Twister set that I got. I showed that off on the channel last year. And if you're a massive Lethal Weapon fan, like, I can totally see, wanting to get that one. I think it's like 60 bucks. I think that might still be, I'll try to link it down below. If it's still available, I'll link it down below. And let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Lethal Weapon on 4K, my thoughts on the film itself. And I just could not close out the month of June, even though we're in July. It's Christmas in July. Technically, this is a Christmas film, guys. I mean, it starts with Jingle Bell Rock, Mel Gibson with the Christmas tree farm shootout. It's got those vibes. It does have those vibes. I think it's fair to call Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie for sure. And what I'll say, just to start it off, I don't feel like I've been the kindest to this film. I grew up with the Bad Boys films. Like, that was my kind of buddy cop movies growing up. I didn't come to Lethal Weapon until much later. Kind of in my adult years when I watched Lethal Weapon for the first time. And when I watched it, I was like, it's okay. And I watched the sequels, and honestly, like, I think Lethal Weapon 2, or I thought Lethal Weapon 2 and Lethal Weapon 3 were better. And I think Lethal Weapon 4 was probably my least favorite. But honestly, like, rewatching it this time, I just appreciated it a lot more. Like, this really is kind of a great film. And I watched it on, like, I feel like I watched it in a whole new light, like in 4K, but also just in just an entirely different way, just removed of all my expectations of what I had heard about it before. And I just kind of absorbed the film, and I just really enjoyed it this time around. It just, like, hit me just right, I feel like. But this is a film that is directed by Richard Donner, and it's like, Richard Donner, he is a very, like, diverse filmmaker, or was a very diverse filmmaker. Unfortunately, he passed away a few years ago. He can, like, do everything. Superman, superhero movies, Goonies, action adventure. You got Scrooged, family Christmas movie. You got The Omen, one of the greatest, like, horror films of all time, one of the most iconic horror films of all time. And then the Lethal Weapon movies, all four of them. He directed all four of the Lethal Weapon films, some of the most iconic action films ever made. So, like, Richard Donner, like, he's a guy that, like, he can do everything, like literally anything. Like, and I feel like he's one of like the very few like mainstream directors that has really tackled like every single genre and has just excelled at it. It really just it kind of surprised me this time just how much I really enjoyed the film. It is such it's so well directed, it's so well shot, like, visually, this movie just looks really awesome, and again, maybe it took a 4K to get me to realize that, but I just really appreciated, like, the cinematic value and quality to this film this time around. I really just appreciated the characters, like Mel Gibson, as Martin Riggs, you got Danny Glover, as Roger Murtaugh. Like I just love them together, their chemistry. You got Mel Gibson, who's like he's on the edge, he's the loose cannon. His wife just passed away. I like how they set him up as the loose cannon and they give it an actual like give him an actual reason to be that. Like he's not just some cop that's coming in full of piss and vinegar, ready to just piss off, Danny Glover. Like there's a reason he is the way he is. Like he's on the brink. He's getting ready to have a mental breakdown at any moment. Like he's on the edge. And they set that stuff up perfectly. And you got, Danny Glover, Martin Riggs, who's a family man. He's just trying to get through the day. And it's like I relate to that like so hard, especially like being almost 40, just going to work. I'm just trying to get through the day with as little of problems as possible, like as few of problems as possible. God, I can't talk today. And I feel that, when I watch this, like I feel Danny Glover's character like in me in this film. And you got this asshole freaking, Riggs coming in wanting to ruin everything, wanting to, but I like it because he's not just like some cocky, like prick young cop. Like Will Smith's kind of that character in Bad Boys. And Martin Lawrence is like the family man. But there's a reason he is the way he is. And he's really not trying to piss off anybody. Like he's just trying to do his job and he's trying to do it to the best of his ability. So I really like the character. Like there's so many layers to the character of Martin Riggs. And Mel Gibson, I mean, fresh off of the Mad Max movies, I really feel like he got to flex like his real acting ability in this. I think he's excellent in this movie, how he just kind of rides that line between, badass cop and just like psychopath that's getting ready to have a breakdown at any moment. So I think Mel's great in this. I love Danny Glover. I think he's phenomenal. And I just think their chemistry together in this film is incredible. And I didn't see that the first time I watched it. I got hit with it like a ton of bricks this time. Like I love their chemistry this time around. Now let's go ahead and dive into the 4K, guys, the picture quality. This is a native 4K. You have HDR10, but you do not have Dolby Vision. So that's the part I think you guys are going to be a little bit disappointed with. Now, I will say it still looks great. Okay, it still looks great. The colors are very rich and vibrant. There's a lot of really nice reds in this. I can't remember if it's Mel Gibson or Danny Glover that are wearing red shirts, but I think it's Danny Glover, but it might be Mel Gibson too. But the shirts, like the red shirts, like they're so intense and they just look fantastic. The scene with the Christmas trees, Mel Gibson, like behind him, like that stuff is super vibrant as well. But all the stuff like towards the end in the street, like the LA, like nightlife city setting, because this movie kind of has that like 80s like noir thriller type feel to it as well, on top of being a buddy cop film. So all those like street lights and stuff, it just you can make everything out like so well in that sequence. Like some of those action like sequences toward the end were excellent and they had great detail and they had great clarity to them. Now, I do have the Blu-ray here in this 4-pack. This is actually a really cool 4-pack I got from Target a few years ago. It has all 4 of them in it. It cost me $10 to get it. They all have their own like individual discs, which is super cool as well. But the Blu-ray, guys, came out back in 2006. So it was a very early Blu-ray. And I'm not saying it's a terrible Blu-ray. It is not. It looks perfectly fine. It's a serviceable Blu-ray, serviceable picture quality. But to say you know, that it holds a candle to this 4K would be a lie, because it does not. I think this looks significantly better than that Blu-ray, mostly because of that HDR, mostly because of that added clarity and the depth to the picture quality. Like the fact that you feel like you can reach out and touch these people's outfits, like it's real material, like right in front of you. Like it looks so much more like realistic and natural as well. This, of course, a movie that was shot on film, guys. Movies that were shot on film, upgraded to 4K, like they're gonna look better. You know, if it's done right, it's gonna look better. And this absolutely looks better. But there is so much great like depth and clarity to those scenes at the end. You can make out every little action set piece. In Murtaugh's lawn at the end when they're having the fight sequence. I'm not trying to spoil the movie. I'm not going to spoil the movie. But like there's a lot of water because the fire hydrant it gets hit by a car, and there's water everywhere, and there's water dripping off of Mel Gibson as he's fighting Gary Busey. All that stuff looks great. Like when you have the water droplets on the face and all that detail, it just looks phenomenal. It just does. So I think that Lethal Weapon in 4K looks freaking fantastic. There's a scene in a desert when Danny Glover's like, just like, you know, trying to get his daughter back. And there's an up close shot on his face. Incredibly detailed, incredibly lit with that like desert background. It looks insanely good. Like there's so many spots in this film on 4K where I'm watching, I'm like, that looks incredible in 4K. So I do think this is one of the best 4Ks I've seen this year. And I mean, Warner Brothers guys, they bring a certain like quality and consistency to their 4K. Yes, I know this doesn't have Dolby Vision, kind of a theme that I'm not loving with Warner Brothers. They did that with the Clint Eastwood 4Ks as well. But again, worry not. I don't think that it's really a huge problem. I don't think it's a huge deal. I think most of the people that watch this movie on 4K are going to enjoy it, enjoy the uptick in quality and clarity, and it really does look great. Like the facial definition, the details are just insanely good. This is on a 100 GB disc as well, so you have all that room for it to breathe. And it breathes, guys. It looks absolutely fantastic on 4K. So I can't say enough good things about it. And to me, it does look significantly better than the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray looks fine, but if you want that extra layer of depth and clarity to your picture, if you want these outfits to like look like you can reach out and grab it, pull the jacket through the TV and wear it yourself, if you want that level of detail, you got to get the 4K. Now, getting into the audio, guys, you got the Dolby Atmos, you got the Dolby True HD 7.1. You do have DTS HD Master Audio 2.0 as well, the original sound. Now, I will say I watched the director's cut on this because I'm not sure if I had seen the director's cut before. Like maybe that's why I liked it more. Maybe I just like the vibe of the director's cut more, or I like the additional scenes, even though I'm not quite sure what those additional scenes were. But on the Blu-ray, you just had the theatrical. On this, you had the director's cut and you have the theatrical cut, and the director's cut's about 7 minutes longer. So with this, you have the original audio on the theatrical cut, but not the director's cut. If you watch the director's cut, you have to watch it with Dolby Atmos, which I imagine most people are going to be watching this with the new Dolby Atmos upgrade anyway. And what I can say, this is a movie that absolutely deserves that Dolby Atmos treatment. Like it is an action film first and foremost. Like I said, so many incredible like shootout sequences, explosions, the gunfire, the gunplay is incredible in this movie, and it sounds fantastic with that Dolby Atmos. So no issues there. I think a lot of people are going to be satisfied with this sound upgrade. Now, getting into the packaging here, guys, like I said, I just got the boring old slipcover, even though I do like the artwork on the slipcover. You got the cover right there with both the Riggs and Murtaugh. You also got the back with a quote up at the top. You got the synopsis. You got some images right there. You got the specs and all that good stuff. Take it out of the slipcover, and same image right there. Just a nice 4K case. You got the back, but you have the casting list added. And you also got the special features right there as well, which we're getting ready to dive into. And yeah, guys, rated R, like, and this is an R-rated action film, like 100%. Like the R rating like really makes this movie. It's an action film, but it's also like a seedy crime thriller as well. Like it really is a perfect combination of the two. I think that's what really hit me with this movie this time. But inside you got the 4K disc only, which kind of a disappointment, with Warner Bros. I get it. You do have a digital code, but you just have the 4K disc, which has the theatrical cut, it has the director's cut, and it's got the special features on it. We have got two brand new special features on this, which is awesome. There is one that's pretty amazing. It's 7 minutes long. It's called A Legacy of Inspiration, Remembering Dick Donner. And it's just a bunch of people that worked on the film, starred in the film. You got Danny Glover's daughter in the movie that's in it. Danny Glover himself is in it. Shane Black is in it. One of the producers, the girl from the opening of the film, she is talking about it. And they're all just basically gushing over, praising Richard Donner, or Dick Donner is what they call him, and just talking about how like he's one of the greatest like people that they've ever worked with. The same old, same old. But the thing is I believe it. I believe it, because it actually it gets a little emotional. I'm not gonna lie, I almost teared up a little bit like towards the end, because it does get very emotional when they're talking about him and how he's passed away recently. And you could just tell that they really enjoyed working with him, especially if they're all willing to come back to talk about the movie, for this release right here. And I just thought that was really cool. It's only 7 minutes, but they really pack a lot of good stuff into that 7 minutes. So I recommend that feature a lot. And then you got the I'm Too Old for This, a chemistry that became iconic. And they're basically just talking about the fantastic chemistry between Mel Gibson and Danny Glover in this film. You got Shane Black talking about how this wasn't the first buddy cop, but it was the first like buddy cop movie where you had the reluctant like partners, the reluctant team up that would become the template for all the buddy cop films going into the 90s and the 2000s. Now, what I'll say as far as a negative is that there are about 4 or 5 minutes of deleted scenes on the Blu-ray that are not present here on this 4K. Now, the deleted scenes is all this had, as far as I could see. Now, if there are past DVD features, I don't know about those because I don't have the DVD of Lethal Weapon. So let me know that in the comment section below. Maybe there's more stuff that they did not choose to port over to this release right here, which is kind of strange because with the Clint Eastwood and the Bond movies, like they ported over everything, it felt like, from the past releases. So that's kind of weird they wouldn't at least put those special features on the Blu-ray on this. So, I don't imagine like most people are going to really care about that, but like there's some people out there that might want everything that was on the Blu-ray to be on this, and I completely get that. Like, especially if you're somebody that wants to sell off your Blu-ray and have this be the definitive copy of the movie in your collection, you maybe can't do it because you want to keep those 4 or 5 minutes of deleted scenes. But that's it, guys. That's the review of Lethal Weapon. Long-winded, I know, but this one is just really kind of surprised me just how much I really enjoyed this film this time around. I think it's a really great action film. Really great action film, and it's a lot more than that as well. So I do recommend this 4K though, even though I had some gripes, some criticisms, some things I think people are not going to be so hot about. It's not a bad price. It's $23.79 right now to just get this slipcover version. Not a terrible price at all. You're going to pay $30 if you want to get the Steelbook, but it's a fair price, I think. And you got two new features here, an excellent 4K on both the theatrical cut and the director's cut. So I think Warner Brothers did some top tier work with this release right here. I do recommend it. It's linked down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those bell notifications for all future videos and follow me on all my social media accounts. Those links are down below in the description, and we'll see you next time.